Hi everybody, it's Lisa. Just bear with me till I move my chair in. As you know, I don't edit anything. I don't really have a very professional setup, so you'll just have to bear with me. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a tutorial. Not a full one because of the setup I have, but I've kind of pre-prepared bits and pieces. But I am making a little thank you card and it's really cute. I'm hoping it's in frame. I've got no idea if you can see it or not. And inside there's a little message. It says happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend. And it's very quick, very simple. You can batch make these, making loads at the one time. And I am going to use the Coffee Cafe stamp set and framelits. This is a fantastic stamp set and you can use it for a variety of different things. You can mix it up. And it's just brilliant. It was actually one of the reasons that I joined Stampin' Up again, because I was with Stampin' Up for quite a while as a hobby demo, and then I left because I wanted to stock up on lots of other supplies, but I think I was away for about a year or so and I was desperate to get back. So this is one of the reasons I came back. So that is the codes for that, for the stamps and the framelits. So that's the one I've used. I am also going to use the hardwood stamp. This I have had for ages, and fortunately they do still do this one. It's a fantastic stamp, very versatile. I'm going to use the Crumb Cake stamp pad. Now this is still the old version of the stamp pad that I've got, and one of the new pads, and this is called Call Me Clover, and it's a different style of box. I have used it this morning but it's decided to stick. Anyway, that's the one I'm using. And the card and ink colours are all here along with the codes, so I'm hoping that you can make them out. And I am using Mint Macaron cards, and I've also got the ink pad for this. This is one that was discontinued, and thankfully they've brought it back, because out of all the Stampin' Up colours and cardstock, Crumb Cake and Mint Macaron are my favourites, and that's the ones that I use most of all, above all others. And I use them in various other projects, not just making cards. I'm going to have a wee drink of tea, hang on. So let's get started. First of all, you're going to need to cut out a bit of card. It can be any card, any colour you wish. What I'm using is Sahara Sand, and it's 4 inches by 8 inches. This is a Stampin' Up card as well. And I've also cut a bit of Mint Macaron for the front, and wait till I grab it, one for the inside, and it has been cut to 3 7/8 square. So that's all the supplies. We are also going to need some ribbon. And this is a Stampin' Up satin ribbon, and I think it's the vanilla one. Very vanilla. I've had it for a while, so I've had a look in the catalogue and I don't think it's current anymore. and I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. So that's me got all of my stuff laid out, and we're going to start with folding the card. You can obviously use your scoreboard for this, but sometimes I find it's just as easy folding it by hand. You sometimes get a neater finish. So that's us got the card, and we are going to mat it on the front with the mint macaron and the mint macaron inside. So first of all, we're going to start with the hardwood stamp, and it's a big boy, it's a beast. And I'm going to use crumb cake, and with a massive stamp like this, I hope you can see this, you really are better putting the pad onto the stamp. Do you know, the Stampin' Up stamps and ink pads are the best that I've ever tried. I'm going to put this here. Right, so just lay it down and stamp it. And sometimes it doesn't want to come off. There we go. And you could use any type of background stamp for this. I'm going to do another one actually. That's a wee bit squeegee. But you could use anything, or you could use a piece of designer series paper. There is a really nice wood collection one in the Stampin' Up catalogue at the moment. There we go. So that's us done that bit. I'm running out of space here. So what we have to do next is we have to attach the ribbon. So I'm going to use my ATG gun and just put a teeny weeny bit at either side. I did see a similar card to this by a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I can't remember her name, but I kind of got the idea of tying the ribbon round from her. And that'll actually keep it quite secure. If in any doubt that it's not going to hold there, then you could put a little teeny weeny spot of glue here. And because I predominantly make junk journals, when I batch made these cards the other night, I did actually go around all the edges with the mint macaron and with the crumb cake. And what I'm going to do here is a little tip for you. Because the ATG tape kind of sticks quite quickly, you can run a little bit of Pritt Stick over it, and that will give you a teeny bit of movement. Do you want it this way or this way? Let me see. Doesn't really matter. Let's go this way. Right, I usually stand up to do this bit, because I find that's the best way to get it completely centered. Because I'm not standing up, it's a little bit squint. So I'm just going to move it across slightly. That's it. So that's the first part. And next we are going to stamp the sentiment inside, and I'm going to use the crumb cake again. And this is one of the stamps from the coffee cafe, and I always have a wee practice first. Yeah, that looks okay. I should have this on my stamping mat. I do actually have one in the drawer. And I always stand up and look down when I do this as well. And you can also put some of the little coffee beans in. I would recommend using a darker ink, but I don't have a darker Stampin' Up one. And that's us finished there. And I'm just going to apply that with some glue just to give me a bit of leverage. And a little bit of wiggle room. Right. What you can also do is use an insert. Where did I put the one that I'd already made? Here we go. That's actually got a little insert inside, and it's just been cut a 1/4 of an inch smaller, and that gives it a well finished look. Now that I'm doing a video, I can't stop coughing. Right, so now we're going to assemble the different pieces, and here I've used the die to cut out a little piece of corrugated card, but there is actually, in the dies, there is one that will kind of give you this look. And I have just stuck them down with double-sided tape, but actually I do prefer glue because it gives you more wiggle room to get it just right. And I have stamped all the pieces and pre-cut them. So this is crumb cake card, and I've used the crumb cake ink. And up here I've used Whisper White card, and I've used crumb cake. And here I have used the Garden Green coloured card and Call Me Clover ink pad, which is one of the ink colours, and that goes very well with that, and it kind of makes it look a bit like Starbucks. And I'll just remove my tape here. There we go. Line it up. And the last thing we'll do is add the Thanks a Latte sentiment onto the front. If I can get the double-sided tape off. Normally I would use glue for this, but I just wanted to prepare as much as I possibly could. And that's okay there. So it's really starting to take shape, and you could put it straight, but I really like it like this, slanty. So I'm going to cut another little bit of ribbon to tie in a little knot. It's a very minimalist card. Sometimes I feel we overthink our cards a wee bit too much. I certainly do, and I try to come up with all these complicated ideas, but I think it's nice to have a good stock of really basic cards, and they're just as nice. God, right, okay. And what I always do with my card, with my ribbon, sorry, is I always scotch the edges so that it doesn't fray, and you're really just running it along, and that will stop the edges fraying. And here we go. And last but not least, we need to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. There they are. Out of all the dimensionals I've ever used, I must say that Stampin' Up is the best out of the lot of them. I would never use any others. So we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on. I need to get some more. I think I've just got one more sheet left. One here, one here. That should be enough to hold it. I go through a lot of these because I think I put far too many on. There we go. But yeah, you really should invest in the Stampin' Up ones. They're fantastic. And they do little mini ones as well. I was amazed when I came back and I discovered that. And they do the long ones to make shaker cards. And here we go. And that is us. A very quick, basic, but really pretty thank you card. And there we go. So I hope you liked the very quick tutorial. I don't do a lot of these, so please be kind to me. And I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. I am having a great time just catching up on all my little craft projects, so I'm hoping to do another video before the end of the day. So that's me for now, and I'll say cheerio. Bye.